cost of living video in London. I'm going to just jump into this one because, yeah, just for context, you guys know that I like to just find out what the cost of living is right now in London. So you see me, I've typed in London cost of living to see what people are saying right now about cost of living. So let's just get into this. Go ahead. Fantastic.
And I work in Central, so it costs me
And let's start
like
again.
I get roughly how much would you say you're spending day to day?
On a weekday, typically Monday to Thursday because of work, almost nothing. Friday, Saturday, like between 25 to 100, depending on if I'm going out for food, which is quite rare.
So I live in Greater London and I work in Central, so it costs me like I get capped every day at I think it's £14, and that's how much I spend on travel, and then lunch and stuff. That's probably like £10 a meal. If I get dinner, that's probably another 15-20 quid. So probably like 30 to 40 quid.
Oh, this is
£20 depending on where I'm going.
You've been here since Monday. How much have you been spending per day? Would you
so what is the day right now though? You said you've been here since Monday.
say?
Well, I had 1,000 in my bank account and now I'm currently at 500.
What would you say you're spending most of your money on at the moment?
Rent, without a doubt. Rent is about 65% of my monthly salary, and I get paid enough, so definitely rent.
Probably travel, like getting capped every day helps because I would end up spending more, but like that £14 something is just so much every day.
Rough.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's essentially what they're doing is they're trying to ascertain people's money management for the day, how much they're spending, not just on food but traveling and so forth, because it gives you an idea when they say this stuff. When we say this stuff about how stuff like things where it's more like hyperbole, when you say stuff like, oh, it's your fault you're broke, which is one of the videos that I put out. It was more so just to grab attention basically, but this is why I guess you say these things is to just trying to find out how people are spending, because with all the respect, if you really think about it, and if we're introspective, we start realizing to ourselves some of this stuff is obviously our doing when it comes to what's happening to us personally. But all the outside stuff you can't really control. So when you're hearing these people like how much they're spending and so forth, it's like, I guess they're trying to live and enjoy a dream, like I guess a life that was once sold to them. They're trying to enjoy it in a climate that it's not possible to do so. If that makes any sense, basically. So there are it's just the same way as when they said try to get a house and so forth. It was a specific generation that were able to I guess acquire those benefits, right? And I should more so say realize those benefits of working and being able to get a house where it's not whatever multiplier of your salary is. It wasn't that. It was pretty much you work for a certain amount. It could have been a few years, and you're able to afford a good house, like a 2-3 bedroom house. So this is what they're trying to do, and they're trying to condense it within their just living, let alone not just trying to acquire assets. They're just trying to condense. I want to be able to enjoy and so forth while I'm traveling and eating out, and it's almost forcing us to pick our almost like pick our poison, because either one you're gonna suffer. But I guess from a long-term standpoint it's probably best to just, like this lady was saying, cap your living. They're capping her travel, letting her know. And she kind of said if they didn't, I would basically be. So yes, it's an ugly place to be right now. So how much do you spend in a day? I won't even say how much I spend in a day. It's a lot less than what they do, due to the fact that you're kind of able to, if you're kind of, I'll definitely say people that are able to work from home is a definite benefit, because you just make sure that, let's say you're going into the office 3 days a week, that should benefit you. But if it's not, and you're still somebody that you're spending a certain amount, there's probably other stuff that are in your budget that you need to remove. I've always said stuff like driving. I've always said this is something I mentioned because I just know how much I remember when I had a car, it was literally like having a child in it. It was taking up so much, but in this instance, although I'm saying this, I don't want to equate a child to a car. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give you the pretty much understanding as to, I guess, how many people will not view it like this, and because they don't view it like, bro, having a car is the same from like a financial standpoint, right? Like having a child. The difference with this one, again, I'm not equating the the subject to the other subjects. So that's not what I'm doing at all. I'm not equating a machine to a human being. What I'm saying is the financial aspect of it. So you start realizing to yourself that there's certain stuff in this world that you can let go of, and one of them is, people be, there was one point I used to call my car my baby. That's how much I really like the car. I didn't necessarily like driving, but these type of things what lets you know you need to start taking the right action, because if I don't like driving, why do I have a car? And if it's costing a certain amount, I'm having to pay tax and pay what is it for the tax disc? If I'm having to pay MOT, all these things, right? Like, it doesn't make sense to have this, especially when you can walk away from it. Unlike a child, a human being, you cannot. Some people do, but you should not, obviously. Because I say you cannot. You actually should not. People are doing it though in this world. So let's just keep it moving. Basically, let's see the other video, because I can go on forever about these things. But it's just always fascinating to see people's decisions in real time. It really, really is to me.
London is going through a cost of living crisis.
Correct.
The white people, they don't want us there. They want to send everybody. Yes, they want to send everyone back to go back to their country. So I came over here. Because my landlord, I realized he was turning crazy. My rent I was paying £1,850 every month.
A month.
And then he wanted to increase my rent to
1,000.
My rent I was paying £1,850 every month.
A month.
Whose fault? What do you do? There's so much questions. Whose fault is that? What do you do? And are you able to? Are you able to afford what? Are you able to? Would you, and are you? And I don't know what the situation is, but are you able to afford that? And if you weren't, why were you still? So many questions, man.
And then he wanted to increase my rent to £2,200 a month.
How much are you earning?
But that's the thing, because it's pounds. But the thing is, you earn in pounds. But people, they always say, London's bad. But
say
the
it.
bills you will pay.
It's also the equivalent.
You actually want to answer, guys?
Same value.
It doesn't even make sense. So I now heard that people are paying 3 million, 2 million of rent for a whole year. I said, you know what? Let me come to Nigeria, relax a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Rest my mind.
And then it's crazy because I got over here and I realized that life is actually soft.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I
not
mean?
as bad.
You can get a house girl.
So they're nice.
You can get a
nice.
chef. My sister.
Not chef.
Yeah, so my mental health has. London is going through a cost of living crisis.
This was quite unique, actually.
The white people, they don't want to.
I'm going to say it was quite unique because I don't know something about the white people. I don't know. But it's quite unique in a sense of this is someone that was in London that left and now describing what the differences are. She didn't, when the guy asked how much were you, and she didn't say. Well, it's past tense now, so you could have said it. I guarantee you she didn't say it because she wasn't earning enough. Right? She wasn't earning enough. But people don't like to admit when they're being essentially just being, not wise is a better way to put this. Now she's gone back to Nige, 3 million a year in Naira. I'm guessing this has to be obviously, and unless she's some undercover, black female Bill Gates. And she's now kind of saying how her life is a lot more easier. It's a lot more. She can now, what women will say, I guess that's what she meant by soft, living in her feminine is what they're alluding to. So, I mean, man, if you are in, let's not say broke, if you are in dire financial constraints, that you can't, that you can't really. You can't handle, is it not your fault? Like, we need to I had these honest conversations. Is it not your fault? Because rent can't be 1,008, and then I'm assuming you were earning, I don't know, if you're on the, more, I guess, medium to upper tier, maybe if you're earning 3K a month, your rent is 1.8, right? Then he said you're gonna raise it to 2.2. Let's keep it moving. This is not.
People, they don't want us.
I don't like it. What?
Don't quote me on this, but I am pretty sure if you live in London and you have to get some work done and you work from home, it is way cheaper if you grab your stuff, go to a coffee shop, grab a coffee, work from the coffee shop for a couple of hours, and you'll be saving money, I feel like.
Sorry, say that one more
Don't
time.
quote me on this, but I am pretty sure if you live in London and you have to get some work done and you work from home, it is way cheaper if you grab your stuff, go to a coffee shop,
Okay, so this is
the
sarcasm.
coffee shop for a couple of hours, and you'll be saving.
Okay, so this guy's being silly. I believe if he's not, this is those that are listening. If you are young and you're listening, don't. This guy is just he's what is it? He's directing you, right? He's leading you to the path of absolute destruction. Why would you go to a coffee shop and pay more? So I believe this is just him being humorous. That's how much. Basically, what he's trying to say is that's how much the cost of living. That's how much rent. That's how expensive rent is now. Where you can't even stay in your own house and work. So you're trying to work, and you just being in your house is almost like you having to pay travel to get to the process of working in your house. So he's like, I'd rather just leave and go to, which is funny. It's funny, but again, it's saying a lot as to where I guess we are as a society within London. London is it? It would be great to find out. Me kind of do the research myself to find out, is London the most expensive city right now? I guess it will be very if I was to try to find that data, it will somewhat be subjective because other cities are going to be given their own because there is everybody's paying different amounts as well, so it'll be very hard to find the average, or should I say the median. But I think if you were to ask the average person that was earning a certain amount, within I guess like the median, I need to say amount in London, and compare it to that with somebody, I don't know, in the metropolitan cities like, I don't know, Madrid or Paris, whatever. It'll be important. It'll be interesting to find out how much it is to live there, and extrapolate that across all dwellers in major cities, because London is very expensive, like extremely expensive, man. Like it's not a joke. It really isn't. And I've always said this. I think for me, from a personal finance perspective, many people aren't good in personal finance. So when you're not good in personal finance, this is just like an external impacting force that will affect you if you don't get your personal finance in order. Right, so cost of living is just something that's just, yes, it's happening and it's going up and you cannot control it, but it's going to impact you so much more if you don't take care of your personal finance. So something I always try to something that I'm always just fascinated by. But I'm gonna stop this video here and catch you in the next one. Pretty much that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, signing out.